So what is an accredited investor? Well, they opened up about 4 years ago. In 2020, they opened up the definition to include a lot more people as accredited investors. So we're going to go through what it is to become one and what you can do if you are an accredited investor. So my name's Ken Finnan. I'm known as a Series 7 Whisperer. My channel is. And I'm here to help people pass the exams like the 7 and stuff. But this is really just to let people know what an accredited investor is, because since that ruling, I've had tons of phone calls, emails, probably a couple times a week, asking how they can become one and if I can help them. So let's get into the whole thing and knock out all the misconceptions. I don't know if you can hear that, quite the storm that's going on. And if I'm talking weird, it's because, well, my teeth are just screwed up. And I can't get to the dentist for another week or so. So I'm just going to have to deal with it and hope you don't see me spit my teeth out. Now, back into this. So what is an accredited investor? So there are definitely definitions for the accredited investor. So let's start with the one thing. If you have a net worth of $1 million, net worth of $1 million, not including your house, you are considered an accredited investor. If you're single and you make over 200 grand a year, and it's happened for the last 2 years. Now, it's interesting when they look at it, they don't say if it's like March and you're on your paycheck, you're going to make over 200 grand a year. You need to have made it already. So you can't be like, oh, I'm tracked to make 200 grand. They're going to do it on the day you do it. Have you made 200 grand a year for the past 2 years? So if this is your second year making 200 grand, you have to wait until you actually hit 200 to be accredited. Or if you're single. If you're joint, married, it's 300 grand. Now, the both don't have, it's one of you, between the two of you, there has to be 300 grand in income. Income doesn't have to be salary. It can be any kind of income. Next, this is the expanded one. If you have the Series 7 exam or the 65 or the 82 in good standing, that means with a firm. So if you have the 7 or the 82, it must be with an actual broker dealer. The 65 has to be registered in the state, usually under an investment advisor. There are loopholes about having a sole proprietorship and being one, but literally you have to have the license and it has to be held and registered by the state. Now, we also have pods. So if the partners, officers, and directors of the firm they're trying to buy the shares of, they are considered accredited. Any kind of entity like a firm that has investments over $5 million, they're considered accredited. You're not going to care about these as much, but it's good to know. Any LLCs, general partnerships, corporations, trusts with assets over $5 million are considered accredited. Any entities where every equity owner is accredited. So if all the owners are accredited, then it's accredited, even if they have less than 5 million. Oh, I did that. Good. Now, any investment advisor, broker dealer, bank, insurance company, investment company, business development company, I probably didn't write it here. All of those are considered accredited. They really, really expanded the definition. And that is it. That is what is accredited investor. Now, let's say you're going to invest in a private placement. They're going to make you prove this shit to just get the information. Okay. Just to get the information, probably you're okay just saying it. But if you want to actually invest, there's going to be an administrator who's going to check your shit to see if you're really accredited. So let's go over some of those things. I'm going to add one more thing if you have a trust, okay? So say this is a trust that you want to know if it's accredited or not. If it's a revocable trust, all the grantors, the people set it up, have to have basically greater than $1 million net worth, or the trust has 5 million in assets. If it's irrevocable, then the trust just has to have 5 million in assets. So literally, if you have a revocable trust, all the grantors have to be accredited investors, okay? And having a greater than 1 million in net worth, okay? Or the trust has 5 million in total assets, either one. So those are entities that want to get into private placements. A private placement, again, is a Reg D. There's different levels of it, but for the most part, to buy a private placement where the company is selling directly to accredited investors, they're going to ask for some proof. And here we go. Okay, so here is a list of stuff they're going to need from you, okay? This isn't an all-exhausting list, but this is probably the most common, right? Okay, first of all, they're going to need some sort of documentation for the past 2 years, consecutive years. If you're single and your spouse earns all the money, as long as one of you earns enough for the 300 grand, you're good to go. If you're alone, 200 grand works. Now, and again, it's for the past 2 years in addition. Now, if your spouse, like this says, does not have your same last name, they will have to, whatever that person has the money, you're going to have to show some sort of marriage license or something to show that you're part of that. Okay, so they're going to want W-2s, 1040s, that's your tax forms. The K-1 is if you're in a passive investment, stuff like that. Now, they cannot accept, like, usually they won't accept like your boss saying, hey, don't worry, he makes 200 grand. They're going to want some sort of like an official pay stub, okay, within a verification letter, an employment verification. But again, they would much rather have W-2s, 1040, stuff like that. But if they take a pay stub, they're going to see some sort of engagement letter. Now remember something. You have to have earned it by that year for that year to count. So again, if it's June and you've only earned 180, you're not over yet. You need to get up above it before they look at you. They're going to want some real hard evidence. They are probably, if you're doing the net worth evidence, they're going to be probably a soft credit pull. They're going to do a credit check to see that, and they're going to want to see both your liabilities and assets, right? So liabilities are what you owe. So if you have 1.1 million in cash, which would be good, but you owe 400 grand in shit, it's part of your liability. But the good thing is, usually, since they don't count your house towards your net worth, they won't count the mortgage. That'd be kind of unfair. So they want to see all your liabilities, credit cards, debt, everything you have, and that's going to reduce what your net worth is. Because remember, net worth is assets minus liabilities. They're going to be looking at bank account statements, brokerage statements, audited financials if you're a firm, stuff like that. If you're looking for the licenses, they will independently verify your 782 or 65. To finish, it's not that hard. Brokerage check is a whole thing. Now, if you want an attestation of your net worth, it has to be done by someone who has a license, who has something to lose if they lie. A licensed attorney, CPA, investment advisor, or broker dealer. And it has to be notarized usually, because they want to make sure that the person is liable if they're lying. So they want you to lie. So remember, it's just the high level stuff. 1, 2, 3 accredited. 1 million net worth, 200 salary single, 300 if you're married. I joke around, I say miserable, but I'm not going to do it at the time. Oh, I did it. So whatever. Entities if they have over $5 million, broker dealers, IAs, any partners, officers, directors of the actual company that that are issuing the private placement. That's good. You can always say you're accredited, but before they let you put your money in, they're going to verify it. So that's it. It's not that big. It's not that big a deal. And all it does is allow you to buy in private placements, and it puts you on a higher level. So like on a small issuer, what they call a regulation A, you're just being accredited allows them to offer you more sophisticated investment. Okay, have a great day. And if you like what I'm doing, please like, subscribe, and share this shit to people. Adios.